Good morning. Today we are working on CO37. We're continuing with those mathematical expressions. And today we're, instead of doing addition and subtraction, we're doing multiplication and division. Same theory as yesterday, right? So we're setting things up the same way, looking at the different verbal phrases, looking at how to turn that mathematical expression into a verbal phrase, back and forth. So it's the same idea as yesterday, except this time it's multiplication and division. So these phrases that we come up with, again, you're going to want to put on your help sheet to help you remember which operation we're using it for. So let's look at multiplication. What are some words that mean we need to multiply? Emma, product. When we find the product of two numbers, it means we are multiplying those two numbers together. Bridget. Times. Lexi. Groups of. Nolan. Multiply, yeah. Multiply or multiply by. Okay. Now let's look at division. What would be some division words? Adeline. Divided. Sophie? Into groups of. Put into groups of 7. So we're dividing 35 by 7. What's another one, Emma? Quotient. When we find the answer of division problems, that is the quotient. So what is the quotient of 37 and 5? So 37 divided by 5 would be 7. Make sense? Like I said, it's very similar to yesterday, except instead of adding and subtracting, it's multiplying and dividing. So let's look down at our first section. It says, write the following phrases as mathematical expressions. There's only one answer for these, just like with addition and subtraction. But when we get down to the bottom section, it says, write each mathematical expression as a verbal phrase. This time it says 2 ways. So we're going to write them out in 2 ways. 2 different verbal phrases that mean the same thing. So if we look at that first one, 2 times a number, what might that look like? Helen. 2 times n. Now some of us might do 2 times n looking like that. The proper mathy way to do it, to do proper math, it's going to look like this. 2 right next to the n. We know when there's a number right next to a variable, it automatically means we are multiplying. So when you see that number right next to a variable, and you go, oh, I don't know what operation that is, you do. It automatically, always means we are multiplying. Same thing if you see like a number right outside of parentheses, it automatically means we are multiplying that number through the parentheses. So a number right next to something and there's no operation means we are multiplying it. If you wrote 2 times n on the test, I would give you credit for it. But we need to know proper math. 2n means 2 times n. So we need to recognize that because next year you're going to be using it all the time. Adeline. Put both ways on for the question so you know that they mean the same thing. You're going to do the rest by yourself. But I do want you, actually let's look at this. The quotient of 18 in a number. There are 2 different ways we could write that one. Can somebody give me one way to write it? James?
18.
So 18 with the division symbol divided by n. Who remembers what else could mean divide that I could write this out as? Nolan, you think you remember? If it's 18n, that's telling me it's going to look like this. And that means we're multiplying, not dividing. Adeline? Super, super close. So Adeline said over. So remember, that's using that fraction bar, but our first number goes on top. So it would be 18 over n. So if you write it as a fraction, it means the exact same thing. So I would accept it either way. 18 with the division symbol n, or 18 over n. They both mean divide. And we need to make sure that we know that they are the same meaning. That fraction bar means we divide. So you take the first number divided by the bottom number. Okay. Any questions on this section? All right, let's look at the bottom section. You're doing the mathematical expression. Remember that expression means writing it out verbally using our words. So if I have 25 divided with n, how could I put that into words? What words could I write? Emma. The quotient of 25 and a number. Now it does say to do it two ways, so what's another way I could write that out? Adeline? 25 divided by a number. They both mean the same thing. So I should see two verbal phrases for each mathematical expression. Make sure you're writing two. Another way would be to say 25 into groups of 5. So you can do any of those. And then on the bottom it says determine whether you would multiply or divide in the given situation. Now, not all of these verbal phrases are up in our table. So you need to think it through, and then you can add phrases into your table. So if we see something like paying half price, are we multiplying or dividing? If we're doubling our allowance, are we multiplying or dividing? So you have to think through what it means to find those new verbal phrases to be able to add up to your table. Tripling, splitting. So what do those words mean? Do they mean that we're going to multiply, or are we going to divide? Any questions on the bottom half of the page? Nolan?
For the last ones, we just write multiply or divide?
Yes, on the bottom you just have to write multiply or divide. Any other questions? Okay, when you are finished with this page, remember, we've got those graphs still. Quite a few of us are missing graphs. Finish the graphs up. Make sure your name is on it so you get credit for it, and turn it into the blue tray. Work on practice work. I am after school tomorrow, Wednesday. Normally I'm after on Thursday also, but I was just notified that I have a meeting Thursday after school, so I can't work with people on Thursday. So this week it's just going to be Wednesday. So if you want to stay after to get some of those practice works and retakes done, stay after on Wednesday tomorrow. Friday is also a retake day. I do have some practice works to pass back to people. Some of them are approved, some of them we need to keep working on. Make sure you turn those practice works in early, so on Friday we can get right to the retakes. And then also remembering that packet number 6 is due January 21st, so you can be working on that. Go ahead and get to work. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.